Billy Stanley was just 7 years old when he moved into Graceland. His mother married Elvis Presley's father, Vernon. He says Elvis welcomed him and his two younger brothers. He embraced his role as a big brother, spiritual mentor, and a playmate to his younger siblings.
In his new book, The Faith of Elvis, Stanley shares the untold story of Elvis Presley's Christian faith and its deep influence on his music, films, relationships, and commitment to his family.
And Billy Stanley joins us live. Billy, thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You know what?
How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing well. I hate to say this, but I never heard about you before this, Billy. Is this a part of Elvis's life that is well known, or is that why you wrote the book, that maybe it wasn't?
Well, we're not very well known. I mean, there's some diehard Elvis fans that know us, but for the majority of the world, don't really know that Elvis did have three stepbrothers.
Huh.
Yeah, and it sounds like you guys had a pretty good relationship, and you have some strong memories of your interaction with him. What is the takeaway of the impact he had on your life and how he treated you and the brothers? Well,
this book reveals that he was really a great big brother. I mean, he taught my brothers and I a lot. One of the examples that that I've carried with me ever since was to love everybody. You know, I mean, that's what we're supposed to, that he loved everybody in the world. It didn't matter where you come from. You know, he always said, you don't look at the outside of a person, you look at their heart, and, you know, be quick to forgive. So that's the way he really was.
You told a couple of stories of his immense generosity, like a woman whose house had burned down. Talk about that.
Right. Yeah, well, this happened right before Christmas, and Elvis found out about it. And so what he had done was he had one of the guys that worked for him go get her an apartment, furnish the apartment, get clothes and toys and a Christmas tree, and fill the refrigerator. And when the guy was about to leave, he said, "Here's the strict instructions." And the guy said, "What's that?" He said, "If she asks who did this, you just tell her Santa Claus did it," because he didn't want credit for that.
Huh.
But he saw that on the news. I mean, Elvis couldn't watch just the news without reaching out and helping somebody. And that's another thing that was instilled in my brothers and I. You know, don't be afraid to reach out and help your brother. I mean, your fellow man. I mean, that's what we're here for.
The book is The Faith of Elvis. How do you explain the shortcomings of his life as it relates to women, drugs, maybe his temper? I don't want to characterize it because I'm not an Elvis super fan, but maybe you could address that.
Well, that's all that's ever been talked about, it seems like, since Elvis passed away. And so that's why I wanted to do this book, to show a side of Elvis that hasn't really been revealed. Elvis, we all live under a magnifying glass, but he lived under a microscope. So anything that, any problems or thoughts that he had have been magnified, a lot bigger than they really were. I mean, but he was much greater than that. I mean, and that's what I reveal in this book.
What are your thoughts? How do you feel the new Elvis movie portrayed your father and Elvis in general? What are your thoughts about the movie?
Well, now you're talking to somebody that was there 17 years. So, I went into it with an open mind because I knew it wasn't going to be accurate at all. I know if he was alive today, he wouldn't be happy with it, not with the way they portrayed his father. Bernie was a very strong individual, and and Elvis, another scene where Elvis talked really bad to his mom, that would never happen.
And it seems like Priscilla and other members of the family were big supporters of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Are you close with Priscilla or Lisa Marie at all, or no?
No, I haven't. The last time I saw them was at Vernon's funeral.
Wow.
In relation to faith, I read that near the final years of his life, he was really dabbling in all different kinds of unique, let's say, spirituality. Is that your understanding, or was he just sort of a straight traditional Christian?
He was curious. So yeah, he did read other things, but at the end of the day, it was the Bible. Because that's the book that when I worked for him shortly for about 1.5 years in the 70s. And that was one of my jobs, is I carried the Bible everywhere we went. And even though there were Bibles in the hotels, he had his own where it was underlined, and he wrote notes, and he read it every day almost. So that was the one book he always went back to.
Wow. Well, it's fascinating. For more, you can check out Hound Dog Racing on Facebook, and the book is The Faith of Elvis, a story only a brother can tell. Billy, Stanley, thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Billy.
Hey, thanks for having me on the show.
Sure thing.
Larry.
We'll be right back.